Wales and live here in West Wales and all of that. Will you please put your hands together for Sarah Robert?
A few worried looks amongst the audience there. Yes, not too sure whether to call out a SWAT team or a fashion consultant, or maybe this is a new wave of Amish stand-up comedians. An audience the other evening, they weren't much better. I shared with them, I said, it's my birthday. A few people in the audience having their birthdays. I said, what do you want for your birthday? They said, your head on a stick. It's the last time I gig for the clergy. A friend of mine wasn't much better. She said, this is what she said. She said, your comedy's like a bake-off rerun, full of puerile innuendo and pretentious ingredients.
Soggy bottom.
I know. This coming from the woman who wears jeggings so tight you can see her personality. Think about that one. She thinks BDSM is a super modern type of vitamin. She thinks a lesbian experience is a special gift you can buy a Groupon. But I love my unusual friends. I know it doesn't show. I love. Do you love those friends on the edge of the community? Those unusual friends on the edge of the community. Well, it's more polite than saying they're marginalised and isolated, isn't it? Really. A friend of mine, she's an escort. She's interesting. She's the only woman I know that is a destination on TripAdvisor. Brexit. I knew I'd get Brexit into the set somehow. Brexit, the pressure of Brexit has meant she can no longer afford to close her legs over Christmas. She said to me the other day. She said my business has gone a bit quiet. I said, what? No, she said, no, not many of my clients are calling me. She said, I need to do something strange and unusual. I said, try paying your taxes. No, it's fine. I rang her back. I said, it's fine. I rang her back. I said, look, lots of people are into a bit of 50 Shades these days, a bit of Ann Summers, most of them in this room. And she said, okay. One of the clients, he said he wanted to be humiliated and terrified, so she rang his wife and had his car towed. Yeah. But she really got into it. She really got into that side of things. But she rang me up in a panic the other evening. She said one of her clients had ended up in A&E. I said, so I don't know if this joke's going to work here. Oh, you know, I'm going to do it anyway. She said one of my clients had ended up in A&E. So I spent about half an hour on the phone trying to explain to her. I said, look, there's a big difference between a horse crop and a carcher. No, that didn't work.
Try Black and Decker.
I'll do it again. There's a big difference between a horse crop and a Black and Decker.
Yeah, that's good.
It's for external use only. He's fine. His name's now Vanessa and he works as an audio typist in a Runcon. That's fine. But I envy her the female power that she's got. I do. I've got my own thing going on, as you can see here. The other job I have is, does anybody here watch First Dates? Bit of First Dates on television, yeah? Anytime somebody gets stood up on First Dates, Fred the maitre d' gives me a ring. He'll ring me up, he'll say, can you be Pippa, a 40-something, it could happen, a 40-something, can you be Pippa, a 40-something project manager from Cheshire? Now, I know what he's saying. He's saying, hang on, isn't he French? I said, look, all of the people on there, they're actors. They're all actors. Look, it's my delusion. Leave me with it. I'm surprised the little vicar from Gogglebox hasn't figured it out yet, sitting there in a dog collar and a monster slippers, and the dog and the poor harassed boyfriend. Are you not too sure if the dog is dead or very calm, as in lets out long, silent, putrid farts? What will he hope it's the dog? Does anybody like to yell at the television, a bit of encouragement, give them a bit of advice? You do. See, there's always one. Good. I like to do that myself. And you want to say to the poor harassed boyfriend, go in the kitchen. She's a little terrorist, she's a little stream of consciousness. Go in the kitchen, make a cup of tea, get out of the way. Yeah? Let it get on with it. You know, she's a little stream of consciousness. Just go in the kitchen, get out of the way, make a cup of tea. Actually, Love Island's on. She'll be there a while. She's got a lot to say. Go in the kitchen, make a cake. About that big. About as big as her. Yeah? A cake so big it needs its own Wi-Fi and its own postcode. A cake so big you could bring it in sections on a forklift. A cake so big that Donald Trump sees it as a threat to national security. But she's a little terrible. He's only going to be putting off the inevitable. That's very true. She's a little terror. She's a little stream of consciousness. But us short people, we're terrible people, terrible race of people. Probably why I joined you probably why I ended up joining the military, getting late. Probably why I ended up joining the military, also known as a large group of semi-literate alcoholics with easy access to attack helicopters. In the wrong hands were like a sexually unfulfilled branch of time team, capable of taking over towns and villages and inflicting mass casualties on their microbreweries, porn outlets and mental health support services. In the wrong hands, who likes a bit of a statistic, bit of a stat? He likes a stat. I know you like a stat, don't you? You do so, don't you? Say you like a stat. Say, hallelujah, I like a stat. You can have a stat anyway. 4% did so, thank God. 4% did so. 4% joined up because they mistook the recruiting office for a particularly well-organised fetish cult with a thing for uniforms and travel. Well, at least that's what it says in their ministerial autobiography. We're not judging. So, 9 years of this is me, marching up and down, being yelled at and invading distant countries, left me with all the transferable skills of a dial-up modem. So what job could I do? Leaving the armed forces, stepping back into civilian life, what job could I do with let's see, my skill set, a particularly dark sense of humour, a very poor attitude towards human life, and borderline sadism? What job could I do? No, I became a teaching assistant. Which is, yes, true. That's true. Which is a bit like working with the cast of gremlins when they've been fed after midnight. I'm talking about the staff. Any teachers, teaching assistants? You know, a teaching assistant. You're not a teaching assistant. Okay, I'll get a bit of a teaching assistant. Fine. What was that, Sam? No teachers, teaching assistants, teaching types. They're not.
There's a music teacher.
No, do you know where they are? That's right. They've shredded the marking. They're naked crowd surfing at an Iron Maiden concert, ending up on a tour bus in Guatemala in a gimp mask. That's where they are. They're wild and crazy people. No, before you become a teaching assistant, you've got to learn things. You've got to learn about confidentiality, schools as organisations, conflict resolution. Ooh, conflict resolution, don't do that. If don't do it, schools do that. No. Steady?
No.
No, you can't.
No,
don't schools do that.
No, don't. Just don't go there.
Just don't go there. No. Keep it clean. All I needed to know, I'll cut that bit, I do like that bit. All I needed to know before I went into school, I just needed to learn one thing: how to survive the staff room. A place with more in common with a pub frequented by pirates.
Yeah.
Suffice to say that, oh dear. Suffice to say, no, it's me standing on the cable. Suffice to say, there's former teachers who have had happier experiences in Turkish jails.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I'll tell you what, come into an average day. I'll take the whole room into an average day in school with me. Okay, we are in school. The dinner bell goes. I saunter from the classroom through the tidal wave of precocious elves, swatting stragglers as they go. Mustn't hit them. Mustn't leave marks. As they surge towards the trough, dinner table. Now, before you walk into the staff room, you can't just walk into the staff room. Are you insane? What, are you crazy? You can't just walk in there. Suffice to say, there's people who frequent the...
Is it not
hello,
working?
1, 2, 3. There's teachers in there more commonly found in investment banking or war crimes tribunals. Okay? So before you walk in, before you frequent the staff room, you've got to make sure. You can't just sit in any seat. You can't just drink from any cup. Get that wrong, and you may as well be dealing with, you may as well call out the hostage negotiators. It becomes a Buffalo Bill situation, and you've got Jack Crawford yelling at you, don't let them inside your head, Clarice. Get that wrong, sit in the wrong seat, walk and drink from the wrong cup, and you hear these words. A supply teacher once tried to test me. I ate a packed lunch, some Pepsi. Oh, so I ate a packed lunch, some baked beans and a nice Pepsi. The headmistress is terrifying. She really is. You run traumatised from the staff room, sobbing, led away by a third year. Oh, miss. They're a bunch of narcissistic sociopaths with no concept of empathy. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll do it without it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay, I'm finished yet. There's
You're not
more.
finished
You
yet.
will suffer.
More!
More! Strip. No.
No more jokes.
Yeah, thank God. Led back to the classroom where Chardonnay. Now, really, parents, Chardonnay. There's a whole other comedy set, but we'll talk about that later. Where Chardonnay and the rest of the computer group are selling school equipment and a supply teacher's car on eBay. And meanwhile, this is an average day in school. This is an ordinary day in school. Meanwhile, the Pokemon and energy drink cartel are engaged in a turf war with the political wing of the school's whole food tuck shop. And somewhere in the midst of battle, a dazed vegan is cut down in a hail of quinoa. That's an average day in school for me. Is anybody here who went to school during the 80s? 70s or 80s? Yes. Do you remember?
Yeah.
If you're the poor sod, the poor soul who's summoned to the staff room with a bit of a note, with a note. Why is it that you're always met by the PE teacher gnawing on a chicken wing because it's the closest they can get to human flesh? Why was that? I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Not in my school.
You didn't come to me. Right. What else can I tell you about myself? Yes, as my glorious partner here mentioned, I grew up in Libya, North Africa. My claim to fame is that I met Colonel Gaddafi, deposed dictator and all-around tyrant. And just think if someone had stepped in right at that moment. Just think of all the unnecessary pain and suffering that could have been avoided. But no, I'm still here. What else can I tell you about myself? I'm a gay woman, as my wonderful partner in crime here displays, or whatever you want to call it. Give her a bit of a cheer. Yes. I've gone blank.
You're going to say something about me now. Do you need help? Do you need help?
No, hang on. Let's see. I haven't always been a gay one before. Oh, I can't say that joke. It's really filthy. No. That's why I went blank.
Roll 18 plus.
No, I can't. No, it's really bad.
Is it bad?
It's really bad.
You haven't always been a gay woman.
Can you mime it? No. That's probably a really bad idea.
Okay, I'll move along. Let's move on. But when I did realise I was a gay one, they're very promiscuous. They're very promiscuous. They're always doing it. Some of them are so promiscuous. I thought they must be on commission. Some of them are so busy. I thought that they can't have hit their target for that week. Some of my gay friends in university were so busy. I thought they must have taken it as a module. Obviously, tutorials were particularly popular. I'll tell you what, I'm grinding to a halt, but I think that's enough waffle and stand-up comedy. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed being here and supporting this wonderful initiative. Thank you very much.